Hey guys, and how's it going? Uh, Welcome to my shop. You'll notice that everything is upside down, and that includes me. Um, so, being the somewhat neurotic perfectionist that I am, I decided that I really wanted to deal with some of the rust underneath the car. I say perfectionist, this is not perfection, but it's good enough. So, the catalyst for this was that I needed to run the fuel lines on the chassis, and just couldn't do a good enough job with the body on. So we pulled the body off. It's sitting on some $25 each sawhorses that I built. Thanks COVID for the wood prices. Um, so this is the driver's side floor, and it's actually in pretty good shape. There's a few rust holes. This is a cavity that you can't really. There's a cross member that runs there. Passenger side is quite a bit worse. And I've spent probably 4 or 5 hours under here with wire wheels on different drills and grinders and everything else, trying to get cleaned up. This car had gotten hit from the passenger side and probably the rear at some point. So you can see that over there's a bunch of crinkled metal that they did a really crappy job of repairing. But I want to drive this thing, and I don't want to restore it completely. I really want to restore it completely, but I'm not going to. This would be, again, on par with the red car, or the silver car in Metalworker would take to fix properly. It's way better, but it would still be, the same panels would get replaced. So yeah, you can see back here, this is the front of the trunk, and it's been welded along the bottom. The trunk is new, clearly. There's some crinkles over there. I did already go ahead and, as you can see, paint the inside of the fenders, or wheel wells, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, so the deal is I'm going to use the rust encapsulator from Eastwood. The brush is on. It seems like pretty good stuff. So it doesn't have to have complete, clean, perfect metal. I mean, it needs to be clean, but it can be a little bit rusty. So, yeah. There's the underside of the dashboard. That cable hanging down is for the radio. I got it caught up in a wire wheel earlier, but I think it's okay. So yeah, I got another session or two of this. I can only do about an hour before my hands go numb and the batteries and all my tools start dying. I gotta just get up in there some. This stuff says basically use a stiff brush to knock off all the loose crap, so I'm going a little bit above and beyond. For a lot of these holes, like right there, I'm probably gonna beat, that's underneath my mounting bracket. And clearly it rusted through, and there's some flaky stuff in there. I'm just gonna pound on that with a pick hammer, get as much of the crap out as I can, and then probably rivet a plate over it. For a lot of this stuff, I'm just going to put seam sealer in there and try to bang it around as best I can. Once I get a layer of paint on there, the floor is actually noticeably lower on the passenger side because it bowed down. So once it gets back on the ground, I'll pick it up with the floor jack from there, and that'll spread it out a little bit maybe. There's some screws up here I just need to cut off or wire or grind off or twist out. They were holding the there's a little paperboard plate that covers the transmission or the e-brake area. Yeah, this is way overkill. I probably could have just gone under here and spent 30 minutes with just a hand brush and would have been close enough, but I like to do things well as I can. It's still a pretty remarkably solid car for being as old as it is. It's certainly not perfect. That's where the e-brake pivots are. And those are seat belts. And then we've got there's 4 bolts per seat to hold it down that are captive. There's the other seat belt point. So that's where the differential would normally reside, right there. So that's an access port to it. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to it. I do have a plethora of wire wheels on different cordless and corded power tools. The MVP is that guy right there. It's a right angle die grinder with a knotted wheel on it and a drill with just a wire wheel. These things and this thing, they're so heavy that it's just, I'm not a very strong guy, but you don't want to be holding 12 pounds or whatever of grinder plus a bunch of torque, and it really just doesn't work as well. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I am gonna treat this, even though I'm using Eastwood paint, which, like I said, I already did. There's 2 coats of Eastwood paint and then Por 15 top coat on the fenders. I'm gonna try to do that back here. I'm gonna probably just do this section at a time because I need to buy more paint, and I don't want to have to deal with scuffing up the surface. So I have to buy it online, but I'm gonna roll it on here. But I'm gonna use Por 15 has some sort of, I think it's an acidic prep that's a rust converter that you're supposed to use with other stuff. Specifically, I'm gonna do that before I use the Eastwood stuff, which doesn't call for it, just out of preparation. Yeah, it's not gonna hurt anything. All you do with that is spray it on, keep it wet for 20 minutes, and then hose it off. And I actually am totally okay with using a garden hose underneath the car in the garage, because I can just kind of sweep it out with a broom, or actually I have a leaf blower now I can blow it out with, whatever water gets off. So anyway, thanks for watching.